Welcome to Real Talk TV. My name is Darryl Buchanan. I'm your host. To have another good show for you guys. Before I get to that, I want to give a few shout outs. I'd like to give a shout out to the Recovery Connection, my peers, my co-workers. You guys are doing a really good job down there, and I want to just acknowledge that. We have the open house coming up on the 26th. It's an open invitation for the public. Come down, see what we're doing, see what we're about. We have a lot of fun. It's a cookout there. We have 2 speakers coming to talk about recovery, talk about their program and their pathway. I'd like to give a shout out to Joseph Bennett out there in Yard Time Entertainment out in Boston doing big things with the kids. I salute you, my brother. Keep working, keep doing things, man. It's an inspiration. All right, so I got a good friend here today. Like I said, I got a good show. She's somebody who just helps a lot of people, a strong advocate, a strong voice, and I'm blessed to have her here today. Her name is Cynthia Goldberg. She's the founder of the F8 Foundation, and she's also on the board of CELWOP, which is the Campaign to End Life Without Parole, and she's also a woman in long-term recovery. Thanks for coming, Cynthia.
Thank you, Darryl. I appreciate
good to have
it.
you. So let's just get right into it. First of all, no, what I wanted to do is, let's just get right into it.
Okay.
What was your environment like growing up?
It was nice. I had a lovely family, lovely education. I was very, very lucky.
Very lucky.
Very lucky.
So
Very blessed.
Yeah, a lot of people, and I like that. The reason why is because the disease is no respecter of people. It doesn't matter where you come from. So, but thanks for sharing that. What type of student were you?
I was a good student.
You was a good student?
Oh, yeah.
So what,
good
you get
grades.
A's?
A's.
Did you like school?
I did like school. I did.
Yeah.
I did like school.
I want to step back up. So you came from both parents were in the house, right?
Both parents in the house, the baby.
You were the baby?
I was the baby.
So how many?
There's 3 of us, 2 older brothers, but they were 20 years between us.
Okay.
So
And
it
so
was
you
like
were-
having 3 fathers growing up.
But you was a baby.
I was the baby.
And your parents just
They were
obviously,
wonderful.
They instilled
Wonderful.
good morals, good values.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. And so let me ask you a question. Let's get right into it. How did you get introduced to drugs? When did you come from a
80s.
good family?
Yeah.
This coming.
80s, bright lights, big city, discos, partying.
Yeah.
That's what it was back then.
So it was just like for entertainment.
Just nuts, yeah. Just like, partying, having a good time. Only some people can stop and some people can't.
I know that well. I know that well. I don't have breaks
Yeah.
either. When did you realize that it was a problem for you?
I sensed it. You can go to most people can go to the dentist. They get a painkiller, right? They put the bottle away. Not me. Not me. No, it still hurts. It still hurts. It didn't still hurt. So there was a problem there. And it would come and go and come and go. And then, sometimes at the end it just blows up. And now you're insane and running around and making poor choices and fooling yourself. And I put up a good facade, and you put up a good facade until you don't anymore. And then you hear 3 clicks of a handcuff, and that facade is gone.
So your drug use brought you
sure did.
problem with the criminal justice system.
Sure did.
You want to talk about it a little bit?
Sure. I'm a formerly incarcerated woman. My sentence was 3 to 4 years, 10 years probation. I had an anklet on pretrial, and I was on parole. It was a white-collar crime that I got involved in. People always say, well, did everyone go down? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I made a poor choice. I should have known better. I shouldn't have been involved with what I was involved in. Obviously, I ended up in MCI because of what I got involved in, and I take full responsibility for that.
Good for you. So what was it like in jail? I mean, was it a shock? I mean, because you obviously haven't been arrested all consistently.
I had never been in trouble before. It was a shock. I mean, I can still, like I just said, I can still hear the sound of the 3 handcuffs. I can still remember.
I didn't even know it was 3. I should have known it was
It's
3.
click, 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 Darryl.
Yeah, I know.
I can still remember the judge's arctic blue eyes, and he said to me, "You should know better. You should have known better." And I remember getting in a van, shackled, and now I'm from the 80s, so the last time I was in a van, Darryl, there was an 8-track tape and a mural on the side of it, all right? And I'm shackled in there, and all I remember, I don't remember anything else except the gates opening at MCI, and I was sick. I was sick, scared, and you know, you're kind of delusional. You're thinking, oh, this is a nightmare, right? This is, I'm going to get out. My family's going to get me out. Yeah, this is ridiculous. No, 3 years later, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's where that led me.
So you don't. So that was your detox, and that's for a lot of times that was always my detox. I could never stop. It would have to be handcuffs.
And that was it. Just, you know, it wasn't. And however someone does it, I commend them and I applaud them.
Yeah.
Whether it's detox in a facility or some people, you know, just detox at home or whatever they do. But that one was tough. Back in the day, then there was no comfort drugs. There was no Suboxone that they give. There was no any kind of medically assisted detox. You kicked, and you kicked hard, and that's the way it was.
They shut the damn door and tell you to kick.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So today, I congratulate you on that.
Thanks.
Today, can I ask you, what pathway works for you? Like for me, I'm supporting. In the show. I like to really just try to move away and just say there's only one or two ways. I'm moving away. We're moving away from that in the recovery community, and so we're saying that whatever works for you.
Right.
Do you agree with that?
I do, because you know I understand. I've taken the recovery coach program. It's a little bit different. I'm a caseworker, so it's a little bit different. That's what we're moving into.
We're moving into,
You know, I think differently now. I used to think harm reduction. I used to just think it was you just don't do anything. That's it. That's it. That's it.
That's what we're told, right?
Right. That's what we're taught. But I'm not so sure I believe that anymore because, you know, if you're not shooting heroin anymore, you might be smoking a joint or having a drink, but we're not going to lose you and you're on your way. Maybe you'll put that down and then the next step. So we kind of have to meet people where they are.
Exactly.
You can't sit there and say, just stop. It doesn't work. It's proven.
Yeah.
It's proven. It doesn't work.
Good stuff. Yeah, we support all pathways. We're just trying to get people involved, for people to understand that if people are not going to jail, disrupting their families, if a person can maintain a job, if a person can maintain their family, who am I,
Methadone,
right?
Suboxone, Vivitrol, if that's what you need to stay healthy and function, then you do it. You do what you have to do.
Good. Let me ask you another question. This is one I ask everybody, and the reason why I do is because just to educate the public. Is it a disease or a choice?
I believe it's a disease.
Why is that?
Who would choose to steal, rob, kick, lose the ability to be a mother, sister, daughter, parent, friend, who would want to lose the ability to work, who would want to lose the ability to smile, who would want to lose the ability to laugh, and who would want to feel when you run out of your substance of choice that you often pray to God to die because you're so sick. It takes over. Nobody would want to live like that. Nobody would. So I do believe it's a disease.
It is a disease. Good stuff. All right, another question. In your opinion, how does substance use disorder play into criminality? I mean, they're both...
Because you can't even think straight. And the drugs on the street are getting worse and worse. And now, you know, you have fentanyl, and now that's cut with xylazine, and et cetera. And it takes over your body so much physically and mentally that you almost don't even really realize, I think, in some cases, the crimes that you're committing. I mean, nobody would run into a store normally. If you weren't feeling sick...
Broad daylight, right?
I don't really think you would do that. And so, you know, I know you can't commit a crime. I mean, I know we have a society where you can't do that, but we have a society that needs to treat people with this disease
a little bit better. You're right, because I always say when they used to arrest me, I used to be like, oh, it's only because I was trying to get some crack or something. And I get in front of the judge, and he would never deal with my primary issue. They only dealt with the secondary issue. Because I noticed one thing about my life. I don't do a whole bunch of stealing and if I'm not high. I don't do 80% of the stuff I probably do high. Right? If I'm clean, I don't steal like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, you're right. What would you like to see more in the recovery community? This is a lot, well, one more question in this.
Well, we need a lot more detoxes. We need a lot more CSSs. Part of my program is I am so blessed because I start to work with the gentlemen awaiting trial unit now, which they never let before, and before they come out, so we can make sure that they have recovery coaches and mentors and supports. But in the long-term programs, and this is what I'm a stickler about, and this is part of the F8. So we do recovery work, and we have counselors, but we need some real life work. We need some pro-social training. You go into a detox, well, let's just say we've gone through the phase, detox, CSS, TSS, and now we're in a long-term treatment program, and we're learning about how to cope and have coping skills, but what about financial things? What about leases? What about, I mean, yeah, we do job interviews. How about just pro-social activities? Let me give you an example. I know people roll their eyes when I say it. I've taken so many, they're like, oh God, Cynthia, is this part of my probation? I've taken a lot of gentlemen to the ballet or plays. When you're ripping and running on the streets, you don't want to do that.
No.
You need to learn in conjunction, not only to live sober, but to learn all the different things that you never learned in society. There's so many more things. Just how to feel comfortable in society.
Yeah, after all that.
After all that, sure.
Cool. Tell me a little bit about the F8 Foundation, and please explain why the name F8.
Wow, that's an odd name, isn't it? The F8, I named it that, keep me grounded. F81017 was my state prison number, and I never forgot that. I never forgot where my out-of-control life took me. F8 on a keyboard is in MS config, it's safe mode, and F8 on a camera is clarity. So it's being safe and a clear road after prison.
Safe and I can see, right? All right. So tell us a bit about the foundation. What do you guys do? What does it involve?
Well, it started about 10 years ago, and when I was in prison, you can't help but notice the need for reentry and what's working and what's not while you're in prison.
Yeah. You can see it firsthand, right?
You can see it firsthand. You know, here's an example. The reentry officer calls you, and he hands you a piece of paper from 1970 with spilled coffee on it. And there's 3 programs on there, and they're not even open anymore.
Yeah.
And I said, this isn't working. You're cutting these girls out. The gate opens. The gate opens. And now what do? They don't know where to go. They don't have one person to funnel all these resources through. And then I thought about, okay, when I'm getting out and I'm going to all these sober facilities to get private clients, to work one-on-one. Because some people who have been to prison, they feel uncomfortable. They have post-incarceration syndrome when they come out. They don't want to just go in one room and go to a computer. And then I thought I used to go into all these places. And I predominantly work with men. You know, oh, Cynthia, I have an open warrant. Okay. How do we start our life back? It's not with a pen and a resume, right? Because we do need that, but that's not the first thing we need when we get sober. If you have a warrant, let's go clear your warrant. Let's start our life. So you're not looking over your shoulder, so you're not in a program and then pulled back in, and there we go. You're doing well, you're in a program, but you have a warrant, and then you're held. And then I talked to many of the gentlemen, and they had all these open cases, and I would ask them, you know, did you look at your discovery? Did you talk to your lawyer? No. I can have discovery, I can have this. So I would advocate with them, and I would go and meet with their lawyer. I'm not a lawyer, but I know enough about it that I would say, no, wait a minute, sir. Did you read this? I don't know. I mean, let's go through this. And often some of these lawyers were just, just sign the green sheet and get it done.
Yeah.
No, 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 no. We don't have to do that. So that's how it really started. And when you get rid of your warrant, there you go. Wow, you can exhale.
Yeah.
All right, now let me look for a job. Because if you got a warrant, you can't look for a job. If they
And
go
if
to
you
run
did,
your
you're gonna
court,
keep it anyway.
you
You
can't
lose
even
it
go
anyway.
to Social Security. You can't go anywhere with an open warrant. So that's how we started. So predominantly, I would go around everywhere and take my clients. And then, I got a good rapport with the courts. Okay, wow, he's removing his warrant. He wants to try. Okay, have some faith in him. Let's do this. So that's how we started. And I would go out and tour all the sober homes. I would meet
I
with.
met you.
Yeah,
You came to Bridge, yeah.
I worked at the bridge.
Yeah,
Well, I
came
didn't
down
work.
there, yeah.
I consulted. My heart's there. That was one of my first accounts. But I would come in and just work one-on-one, take the gentleman out. I would go in before I place a client. I make sure that I've gone into that sober home. What do they have? What do they offer? Does it meet my client's needs? I know that you're supposed to go where you're supposed to go, but I want to give my client the best success rate I can. Maybe I need a dual coexisting disorder program. Maybe this doesn't offer that. Maybe they don't have clinicians on staff. I try to see based on family history, family criminal history, what would be the best fit. And then at times, Darryl, that you got to take what you can get.
Yes, most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. Good stuff. Let's talk a little bit about the Criminal Justice Policy Coalition.
Sure. So we do a lot of education, trying to let the community know what's going on with we want a fair criminal justice system. We've done webinars.
It's not fair?
No. Yes, it's so fair.
Yeah.
Look at. Yes,
Yeah.
I spent 14
I told you
years.
somebody
Yeah.
said to me, I think I said
Yeah.
a long time ago,
Yeah.
man, this is a broken system. And he's
Yeah.
like, Darryl, it's not broken. It just never worked.
No.
It was never
Right.
broken. Or at least it works the way it was designed to work.
It doesn't work, and the prisons are supposed to rehabilitate, and I think that they break people. I understand there's crimes, but when you're in there, if you want to rehabilitate someone, it's just really not working. And so the criminal justice, we've done webinars where one of my big passion is technical parole violations. That
We talked about it before.
it makes me really crazy because you're letting someone out on parole, and you want to reintegrate them in society, but we're not dealing with the damage that the prison has done to them. We're not dealing with PTSD. We're not dealing with anxiety. We're not dealing with that. And you have somebody on parole, and I work with a lot of second-degree lifers on parole. It's stressful to come back after 20, 30 years.
You can imagine, yeah.
Well, how do you get violated? Might be as simple as not being able to hold a job. Why can't you hold a job? Because you've been in prison for 30 years. Everybody's disrespecting you. I hate to use this word, but everybody's running game on you. You don't trust anyone. You don't know how to, and so you get sent back. Maybe you have developed a substance abuse disorder in prison.
Yeah.
And you get out, and how do you cope? Because you're not getting help. Okay, you get a dirty urine, you're cuffed up, and you've gone back. Or maybe you're just working with another convicted felon, because that's a taboo.
Wow, yeah.
And they don't, in NA and NA, right, we feel more comfortable working with people that know of what we've gone through.
Know about us, yeah.
But when you're a convicted felon, they don't want you with another convicted felon. And maybe you're a caseworker, and it doesn't always matter. They can send you back just for association, and that's where you feel comfortable. It doesn't mean you're doing something bad. You're just maybe having coffee. Nope, that's a technical violation.
And that's what you call it. And
That's
is
what
that
we call
used
it.
a lot? Do they buy it?
Yes. And
Obviously, it does if you're.
the sad thing about it is if you get sent back on a technical violation, then you're held dead time. You get a 15-day revocation.
But then they hold you a year, then 3 years.
Oh,
5
I've
years.
seen guys get held 15 years for a dirty urine on cocaine.
15 years?
On a second-degree lifer, yeah.
15.
Yep. They go before the board. Well, you're not rehabilitated. We don't think you belong in society. See you in 4 years. Well, we don't think you're ready yet. See you in 4 more years.
Yeah, that's crazy. So is that so? What's going on with it now? What are you guys doing now?
You know,
Is
we
there
do a
anything
lot
you
of
guys-
advocacy.
Yeah.
We do a lot of parole reform. We have a parole watch group that actually goes and listens to the parole hearings. You know, we listen to who's on the parole board. We think that, and a lot of people probably are going to say, oh my goodness, we think that there should be a formerly incarcerated person on the parole board. And we think we do.
No,
and
I
we
get it.
think that there should be some more parole members that actually have more training in street outreach and substance abuse disorder as opposed to lawmaking and DOC.
The punishment side, right?
Yes.
Right, because their mentality is all
Right.
about punishing it.
Because if you go before the board, you know, you have to talk about your crime. And let's say you're sent back on a technical parole violation. You have to talk about your original crime. But
You have to go all the way back.
nobody asks, what happened in society? What wasn't working? You know, did you not get the help? Did you need more substance abuse help? Did you need more therapy? And I'm a big fan of those gentlemen that get out getting therapy with therapists that are trained to work with PTSD. Maybe they work with veterans or not somebody, because you're in survival mode in prison.
Most definitely, 100%.
You come out there and you need, you know, specialized training. Sometimes I'll pick up a client, Darryl, and I can see him pacing back, forth, back.
Yeah.
Just the size of that jail cell. Or I know he
Wow.
was in segregation, and then he gets in the car and he starts brushing off the dust. And then I know he was in seg for a long time.
Wow, so
Yeah.
you brought that stuff out with him.
Yeah,
huh?
and then I usually try to find them or set them up with a therapist that specializes with that bad of PTSD.
No. I like that you noticed that, man. 'Cause I mean, yeah, that's crazy. Wow. So let's talk a little bit about Joe came on the show. He was like one of the first ones when I did the show. And can we talk a little bit about CELWOP?
Oh, sure.
Which is, for those that don't know, it's the campaign to end life without parole.
Right.
Can we talk about it, your position
Sure.
and what you're
Sure.
what's going on with it?
I'm on the board, and we are really trying to hit the ground. We've been around for a long time, but we're trying to get more community involvement out in the community to try to do some more events where we educate the public, and we're really connecting with the gentlemen that are serving life. We have been, but we're really, this last few months, really working with them, and they do all the work behind the wall.
Yeah.
We're just trying to, you know, we work with the Campaign to End Life Without Parole, Mass Second Look Act, and the joint venture. All these 3 coalitions are to get these young men, you know, a second chance and out of prison. You know, end mass incarceration after 25 years.
It's a long time, man.
If you've really, and so many men have turned their life around, you know, it's age-based crime when they go in, 16, 17, 18. You can't think right when you're that young, at least in my opinion. And so after 25 years, we're asking that if you're serving life, that you get a chance to go before the parole board. And to, you know, what's your history at the DOC? You've taken educational classes. You're advocating. You're doing everything you can to be a totally changed person.
Yeah, so when Joe came on, me and him talked about it, and the truth and the reality is that we say we don't have the death penalty. To me, that is the death penalty.
Death by prison.
It is the death penalty, right?
You know, think about anyone who's been to prison sees that look, that sad, glazed over look. I can spot somebody that's done a lot of time when they come out. It's that sad look. It's like failure to thrive in there.
Yeah.
But think of it this way. Imagine if they did end life without parole, and there's no guarantee you're going to get parole, but a chance to go.
At least you have an opportunity to
Don't
get
you
some-
think that gives hope?
It gives hope.
It gives hope
Yeah.
to people behind the wall, and maybe that will make a difference.
Yeah, I remember going back, Cynthia, and I remember when I was a kid, I never thought they really gave people life sentences. I mean, you hear it, you know what I mean? Until I sat, you know, in front of somebody that was in there for like a long time. And then over the years that I started when I was a kid, and when I ended, there were still people that never got out. I remember a gentleman saying to me, man, young blood, you've been coming in and out of here for years.
Right.
Why do you keep blowing these chances? I wish I had a chance.
Right.
And I'm sitting there like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like you take for granted, like he really wished he had a chance. I believe that, and I spoke about Mark Thomas and the reason why,
Right.
and Fuquan,
Yeah.
the reason why is they really changed their life. And their life changes has affected a lot of people.
Right. It's true.
I mean, it was like in a real strong way. They are powerful.
It's true.
And I have a thing that says if we want to give people help, why do we keep the kids' medicine locked up?
Right. It's true.
They're the children's medicine. Mark Thomas is powerful. He helped me in a lot of ways.
Right.
You know
There's
what I mean?
so many.
I've never seen somebody work so hard
Right.
in such a hopeless situation.
Right.
Meaning like they wasn't getting out, but they cared that we were getting out and trying to do the right thing.
These gentlemen that I work with, I work with.
Powerful men.
Yeah, right now I work with many of the state institutions, but some that just come to mind, these gentlemen, they give me inspiration. They call me during the day and ask me how I am, and I'm like, oh my goodness. The writings that they write, we have a gentleman, Julian Green, who's working on the joint venture. We have, Quan, we have Gordon Haas, we have all these bright, bright men who, their writings inspire me.
Yeah.
Just incredible people that we're helping to do the work. They're doing the work behind the wall.
Work, yeah.
And they teach me to be a better person every single day. God bless them all.
Yeah. And it sucks that society doesn't really, that we keep buying into this punishment thing and think that's how we're going to change things. It's not true. There's a lot of change men behind those walls. I'm telling you, I know for a fact. Okay, let's talk about, is there anything else you want to say about that? Okay, let's talk about this Ronald A. Burgess Jr. Foundation.
Oh, that's...
Because I love kids, young people.
That is interesting. We just had an event at a hotel in Worcester. So Ronald gets children, and he has all kinds of educational programs. And I had the privilege...
Is this located in Worcester?
Yes,
Okay.
he's in Worcester. He does incredible work. We did a little workshop, and he's a motivational speaker. You can look him up.
Yeah.
He really, but he had these programs, and I'm thinking we have these wonderful children and their parents that came. These parents want to make sure that their children are getting help and stay on the straight. It's not cool to, often some of these young kids, they look at, I'm just going to say gangs and gang members, and I work with a lot of former gang members, and they've taught me a lot. They've taught me that people can change. They showed me the most beautiful things. But Ronald has a curriculum in the high schools, and he goes in, but he has these different activities for the kids that are so mind stimulating. And I saw so many beautiful children and parents. You have to have them on your show here.
Yeah.
Just the activities, these geography and mathematics and all these different things, but he does it to engage them. And here's a Friday night where most kids would be hanging out right on the street, and there these kids are from 5 to like 8 p.m. on a Friday night. Sitting around with an old lady like me and working with Ronald. Just such stimulating, such academic activities. And he enrolls these kids in this program. He's in all the high schools.
I definitely want to meet him.
It's just a program. He gives out backpacks. He gives back to the community. He's really making a name for himself.
What is his background?
Is
he incarcerated? Was he?
I'm not sure about that. I know maybe a history of family abuse.
Okay.
I know I'll let him tell you. I believe he was almost drafted as a professional football player.
Wow.
I know he ran the reunification program at Spectrum for years.
Oh.
And that's how I met him.
I can definitely get him there.
He is just an incredible man, and he does so much work, and he cares. He's a good man. You
Right.
need to have him on here so you can promote his program.
Most of his last name's Burgess.
Yes, Ronald A. Burgess
Shout out to
Jr.
Ronald A. Burgess, man, and your foundation, man. Yeah, I do have a seat for you one day. Let me know. We're going to hook up. Good stuff, man. So, yeah, that's good stuff. All right, now I wanted this part of the show, I wanted, because you do a lot of work, so I wanted, I have a couple people that want to kind of like tell you about the work that you do and how you affected their life. This one's kind of long, but I told him I would do it anyway. But he,
Oh, don't make me cry, Darryl.
huh?
Don't make
Well,
me cry on
come
camera.
Here, people come here and they do that. No, but I want you to know.
Okay.
I mean, this is what's real. This is, I mean, I think this is just you're kind of like, I won't say gift, but I think this is the gift when you know that there's people that would just talk. I mean, there was a lot of people that wanted to respond and say things, but I picked this one. It says, what can I say about Cynthia Goldberg? A ton, but we don't have that kind of time. I met her in August of 2015. I was just kicked out of my first program and went to the halfway house I was supposed to enter and told them my version of what happened. I was real upset and lost at that point in my life. Cynthia heard me talking to some of them, to some of the guys, and took a liking to me. She spoke to me and was so kind and understanding, even though she knew I was lying through my teeth. She told me someone to give me her number and call her if I needed any help. I was surprised and it made me feel good, even just for a moment. The next 2 years of my life were mostly chaos, with a few periods of catastrophe, halfway houses, jails, and just complete ridiculousness. The whole time she would call me periodically and I would call her. She was always understanding up to a point, but when she occasionally went from a sweet lady to Maya Lansky and said, listen up, kid.
That's true.
I knew she wasn't buying what I was selling at that moment. There was a time you said, like, enough, or let's get it real. That was exactly what I needed to hear when she said it at that time, and she knew it. When to be firm and no BS, and when to just listen. She'd tell me I was a way too smart of a kid to be doing the things I was, and I was going to die if I didn't change. She talked to my family and coached them on what to do for me. Pretty much nothing.
Oh, I think I know who that is.
I had to learn on my own. I am forever grateful to her for that. When I finally got sober, she still helped me with court and probation and all the rest of the garbage I had accumulated over the years of my drinking and using. She told me she was proud of me and she knew that I had gotten it. She said she always knew I would. These days, I still talk to her a lot. She can always help me and guide me through the things and know what to say, even if it's not what I want to hear. She's a wonderful person, and I'll never be able to thank her enough for all that she has done for me and others and continues to do for myself and others. She is a selfless person who just wants everyone to get their lives and families back. Like she always says, you'll always be one of my kids. Who is it?
I think that's Brandon.
Brendan Walls, yeah. And he said sober since August 22, 2017. And when me and him started talking, he was
He's
lit
a
up.
good man, and I'm so proud of him.
So that's one. I just got one more. I mean, I have a few. I wanted to. This is another long
All
one.
the sons I never had.
Yeah, this. Yeah.
I love them like sons.
Yeah,
yes.
no, and that's touching. If I just reading it was like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are you gonna cry?
I might cry. I might cry.
I said I met Cynthia when she called us and asked if we could come to UMass Hospital in Worcester, as the family was asking for our support, that we were taking their son off of life support and wanted us in the room as parents of loss while removing him from life support. We were there for that. We were there for that family as they grieved their son. Cynthia and I became good friends and stayed in touch. She helped me with my son Cody, who was homeless, addicted and in trouble with the law, and has acute, persistent, chronic mental health illness. She tried helping me many times, even most recently when my son Cody was on life support, as well with massive injuries after being hit by a car in Lowell, Mass. Yeah, where Cody was in surgically intensive care unit in critical condition. We had several long surgeries. We're happy to say today Cody is recovering from all his injuries. Wow. Wow, I remember reading that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I know who that is, yeah. God bless her and her family.
Yeah, boots on the ground, right?
Yes.
Cody's recovering from all his injury and is alive and off of life support and getting help he needs, but he has a long road ahead of him. Cynthia was my lifeline at one point during this when I thought we would be losing and get our fifth child in this family. She is always there, and she is very committed as Cody has spent time in house corrections on and off. I want to make sure she knows and everyone knows we here at Boots on the Ground appreciate her hard work and help with people struggling, but also to personally acknowledge, thank her for her committed and valuable time and effort and love. I am honored to know her as someone in our field and my personal friend. We're grateful for all she does for our community. By the way, Cody would like his own visit from you to personally thank you, as this has been life-changing for him.
Oh, thank you, Don.
You already know who that is, right?
I do. Thank
Oh.
you. Dawn.
Yes,
Yes,
yes.
Dawn.
All right, Don, try. Yeah, then there was more.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So that's that, and I think those are blessings, right?
you know, when I got in trouble, well, when they first arrested me and I was out on bail, I ran to the church. It's a true story. And of course, I run in and I'm like, let me see the priest. And I'm like, Father, you got to get me out of this. Like, write me a letter. Tell them, no, she doesn't. She's not going to go. And he said, you know what, Cynthia? You might be educated, but you can do this. You're going to get through this, and this is going to change your life. And I got mad. I said,
Because he saw something that you
I
didn't
said,
see.
what are you talking about? He said, you're going to do in life what you were always supposed to do. And I was mad because I wanted to get out of it. He said, you know, people make mistakes. I'm going to absolve you of your thing, but this is going to change your life for the better. And
But
I
you
was
gotta go
mad.
through it, yeah.
I was mad, but then when I was sitting in the jail cell, I held on to those words like a security blanket. And it did change my life. And this is what I was. And I
you
love
changed
my
a lot of
job.
lives.
I love my
That's
job.
why I met you. I remember coming out Bridge House and you were standing outside, and we started talking. And he was like, "You got warrants?" And I was like, "Ooh, so I got warrants." You know what I mean? But yeah, so no, that's why I met you. So let me ask you a question. Who inspires you, though? You inspire a lot of people, but who inspires you?
Everybody that I work with that is God inspires me, first of all. I mean, I thank God I'm alive. I thank God for the life that I have now. But my beautiful, beautiful clients, their families, all those beautiful men and women that are still incarcerated, they inspire me every day to keep going. And when I'm tired and I don't, I think of them, because all those beautiful women at MCI, they taught me more than they will ever know, and I'm more grateful to them that they will ever know, and I pray for them every day, and the gentlemen too, every single day. They inspire me. That's strength.
Got you. What do you want your life message to be?
What do I want my life message to be?
I mean, if you had a message, if it could be a
If
message.
it doesn't matter, the addiction or the crimes, or that doesn't define you. Everybody, no matter how old you are, can turn your life around. Life is too short. Everyone deserves a second chance. We're good people. People with addiction are good people. People that have gone to jail are good people. Don't look at us like we're anything but humans and good people, and we all deserve a second chance in life.
Good stuff. All right, so I wanted, we went through that pretty quick. I have, you're a great interviewer too, so I'll let you know. But no, I have this thing that I found on your page. I wanted to read that to you, find out what you mean, what it means to you. But then I want you to take as much time as you can, give a message, say, but you know, you can say whatever you want to say. Just be Cynthia, this Cynthia when you speak. All right. So listen, on your page, I went there and I found this, and this is something we're gonna frame and put in, in a recovery center, because it's kind of powerful.
Thank you.
The power of empathy. I'm in it with you. I'm not here to fix you. I'm not here to feel it for you. I'm here to feel it with you and let you know you're not alone. What the hell does that mean to you? Because it means a lot to me.
Somebody's down, you don't leave them down, you reach I can't fix anybody, but I can feel the pain that you're going through. But you need to learn to work through that pain. I'll always reach my hand out and pick you up and help you, always, no matter what. But we need to learn to process all this ourselves. But my heart, there's never a day that I don't look at somebody suffering. My heart is with them. I know what it feels like to be down, and nobody should ever judge anybody. We're all in this together. We're all beautiful people. It doesn't matter where you've come from, it doesn't matter. We're all good people, but I am always there to reach out my hand. Whether you're here, grab my hand. We're gonna get through this.
Good stuff. All right, cool. Thanks for coming. I'm going to give you the time. Is there anybody you want to shout out for us? Or is there anything that we missed that you want to talk about?
No, I just want to say thank you to all my clients and all my
Anybody
family.
want
You boys know who you are. I'm still watching you.
I'm still got eyes on you. Yeah,
exactly.
How about your colleagues? There's people you work with. You have
Oh,
teams.
there are
I'm sure there's a lot.
so many. Darryl, there's you.
Yeah, thank you.
There's Spectrum. There's AdCare. There's a wonderful woman that does street outreach in Worcester, and her name is Heather Burke. And she is always working.
Shout out to Heather Burke.
Heather, God bless you. I know the hard work that you do. There's so many people in the trenches. The Bridge House. That was my my first account. Just anyone who does this work, God bless you. It is not an easy job,
No, it's
and
not.
you are the most special people in the entire world. And to all the gentlemen, still, we're gonna get you. We're gonna get you out.
Yeah.
Just keep watching for CELWOP. Keep watching for We Are Joint Venture, Mass Second Look Act. Please just look for our events. We just want you to come, and our heart goes out to anyone that was a victim, because that's sad, and we acknowledge you.
Yeah.
And
Good stuff. But after we'll be able to put all that up that you want on the end, so people can get in touch with you and contact you. All right, this is your time. Your message to the
just
speak whatever you want. Speak your piece.
Gentlemen, I couldn't be. I've had you gentlemen for 10 years. I've watched you evolve. I've watched you grow. I'm so proud of all of you. I love you all with all my heart. There's a quote by E.E. Cummings. I carry you in my heart. I carry your heart in my heart.
Wow.
So there you go.
There you have it from Cynthia. Thank you very much
You're
for
welcome.
coming. You stayed. You're supposed to leave. I appreciate that. That was big. And it was a good interview. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Keep watching, keep sharing, keep subscribing. I'll have things posted up. You guys can contact Cynthia. And if you somebody needs help, you can contact Cynthia and guarantee you she'll get you to somebody. I just appreciate everything, and see you guys hopefully at the open house on the 26th at the Recovery Connection, 31 Main Street, Marlboro, Mass. I'll be there. I hope to see you. And in closing, like always, I want to say I love you to my children, Taisha, little Darryl, and Zayla. Peace.